Whether you're stuck in traffic, hitting the gym, or just winding down, we are here to spill the hottest tea from your favorite Bravo shows. From the wildest reunions to the quietest social media unfollows, we cover it all. So welcome back to Reality TV Podcast and Clips. Subscribe if you haven't yet. Let's get into it on 3, 2, 1. We are diving straight into Beverly Hills today because, wow, we have to talk about this Sutton Strack situation.
Oh, with a newcomer, Amanda Francis.
Yeah.
It is a masterclass in, group dynamics and what happens when trust just isn't there.
Right. It all kicks off with this allegation. Amanda comes to Sutton and says she's heard that Sutton's former assistant, Avi, is threatening to spill dirt on her.
And you expect panic,
Yeah.
right? But Sutton's reaction was just the opposite. She basically laughed it off.
She didn't just laugh it off. She completely dismissed that he'd even have anything interesting to say.
Yeah, she literally listed better topics. She was like, you want dirt? Talk about my 17-year marriage, my 3 kids, my business.
My life in Georgia, being a young girl in New York, I mean, it was an incredible deflection.
It was a flex. It was her saying, my life is way too interesting for whatever gossip this man might have. But the real drama wasn't even about Avi. It was about Amanda's motives.
Exactly. You had Kyle and Kathy Hilton immediately jumping in to say Amanda did the right thing, that she was being honest.
Framing it as a moral duty.
But then you have Jennifer Tilly, who's always watching, and she just says, I think she was looking for a reaction.
And Sutton agreed. She felt like Amanda didn't need to bring it up at all.
Especially because, and this is the key, Amanda didn't even hear it from Avi herself. It was from a friend of hers. It's third-hand gossip.
Which just looks so sketchy. It reads as a new girl trying to start a storyline, trying to, secure her diamond.
And what did you think of the other women's reactions? Like Dorit, she played it so safe.
Oh, she totally did. She said she was being a girl's girl by not asking questions, even though she later admitted she didn't buy Amanda's story for a second.
That's just self-preservation.
Of course. But Bazoma St. John actually made a really good point. She said, objectively, having an ex-employee walking around with your secrets is a huge liability. Yeah. It is scary.
It is, but Sutton wasn't convinced it was even real. She basically said it doesn't even sound like something Avi would say. So the whole blackmail plot just fizzled.
Right, and that's when the conversation pivoted to something much smaller.
The Missy incident.
Ah, yes. The great Missy debate of our time.
It's 8 a.m. They're in the kitchen. Sutton walks in and says, hey, Missy, to Amanda, and the whole group just explodes.
Well, Kyle immediately labeled it condescending. She said it proved Sutton didn't trust Amanda.
And Amanda said the vibes were all wrong.
Which, okay, tone is important. But then you have Kathy Hilton saying Sutton calls her Mithy all the time as a love thing.
But Erica Jane had the best take. The strongest defense. By far.
Erica's logic was just flawless here. She pointed out the sheer imbalance of the situation.
Right.
You're telling someone their life might be ruined by an ex-employee, and your complaint is that she called you Missy.
Erica was like, it's out of balance. She basically said there are much worse things you can call people.
It's classic tone policing. If you can't win the argument on substance, because Amanda's story was shaky, you attack the delivery. They focused on Missy, so they didn't have to talk about whether Amanda was just stirring the pot.
So true. And speaking of people refusing to back down, let's head over to Potomac.
Oh, Giselle Bryant. Never a dull moment.
She is standing firm on this feud with Angel Massey. Absolutely no apology is coming.
This is such a classic Potomac fight. It's all about logistics being a stand-in for respect. The private jet versus the house with no water.
It sounds so ridiculous when you say it out loud. Angel gets him a private jet, which is amazing.
A huge deal.
But Giselle's main point is that Angel put her in a house that didn't have running water. So when asked if she apologized, Giselle just said no, flat out. She said Angel dug her own grave.
It's what I call the hostess curse on these shows. The person who arranges the trip gets blamed for everything that goes wrong. Giselle even pointed out that Angel didn't stay with them or spend the night.
And she called Angel and her husband, Bobby, codependent. She was very clear. She said, I do not want her life. I want my life.
That's a hard line.
Yeah.
And she's drawing similar lines when it comes to the Stacey Rush rumors.
Oh, the Mauricio stuff. She really went there.
She has a whole theory that Stacey would have made a move on Mauricio Womansky if she'd had a single moment alone with him.
A pretty bold claim to make.
Especially since Stacey's with her partner, Tiamo. But Giselle doesn't seem to think that's a real obstacle.
Not at all. She said she thinks they only got back together for their daughter and then called Stacey a lady of the town who has been hitting them streets.
I mean, the shade is just immense. Giselle is positioning herself as the one who sees all the chaos clearly.
And speaking of chaotic narratives, we have to touch on Ashley Darby and Jackson Jordan.
This is getting so messy, and it feels like a real generational clash.
So, Jackson, Teresa's son, finally went on a talk show and confirmed they hooked up.
Right, but his version of events is very buttoned up. He's very specific. He says, I gave her a ride home. We kissed. The end.
He kept saying he doesn't kiss and tell.
Which is funny, because Ashley Darby's job is literally to kiss and tell.
She described it as having electricity when their hands touched. She implied a lot more went down. And now Jackson is saying he's disappointed she told his mom about it.
That's the core of it. He feels it was private. Ashley sees it as content for the show. He said, I don't need a storyline.
And he's backing that up. He says they haven't even spoken since the story got out.
So Ashley got her scene, but it cost her whatever was happening there. It just shows how incompatible real life and reality TV can be sometimes.
That phrase, incompatible, is the perfect transition because we have to talk about the end of an era over at Summer House.
It's official. Kyle Cook and Amanda Batula have confirmed their split.
It's news we all kind of saw coming, but it still feels big. After 4 years of marriage, they put out that joint statement about parting ways mutually and amicably.
Yeah, but the buildup was anything but amicable. It was just months and months of denial.
I know. Remember back in November when the rumors started that they were living in different places?
And then at BravoCon, Amanda was on stage saying everything was fine, that people just find their arguments newsworthy.
Looking back, all the signs were there. Kyle was going all in on his DJ career, something she always hated.
They spent holidays apart. She was at that hockey game without her wedding ring on. It was pretty obvious.
So why the big public denial for so long?
It's this weird reality TV thing. They have to protect the show's timeline. If they admit they've split in real time, it kind of ruins the drama of the season that's about to air.
Oh, right. So we wouldn't care as much about them fighting over his late nights if we already know they're divorced.
Exactly. They have to live this public lie to preserve the reality of the show. It sounds absolutely exhausting.
It does. And that struggle with, what's real and what's for the camera seems to be everywhere right now. Which brings us to these family dynamics we're seeing.
Let's start with Salt Lake City, because the Bethenny and Olivia Bateman situation is intense.
So Bethenny plans a girls' trip with her daughter, Olivia, but then secretly invites her boyfriend, who's now her fiancé.
And Olivia just lost it. She said they had a major fight that the entire hotel probably heard. She felt so betrayed, like her mom always chooses men over her.
What's so fascinating to me is Olivia's journey with the show itself. She said she begged her mom not to do it at first.
Yeah, she was terrified of skeletons in the closet and old court cases coming out. She wanted to keep everything private.
But now she's done a complete 180. She says being an open book on the show is actually freeing compared to the hush-hush way she grew up.
It's like the sunlight is disinfecting all the old secrets. By putting it on camera, her mom can't hide anymore, and she feels like she can finally heal.
Now, you contrast that with what Sheena Shea is doing over on VPR in the Valley.
It is the exact opposite approach. Sheena is trying to curate a perfect reality for her daughter, Summer Moon.
Right, she's adamant that Summer Moon should not know that she and Lala Kent aren't friends anymore.
Which is such a tricky boundary to maintain. She won't do playdates with Lala herself.
But she'll let her husband, Brock, or Lala's brother, Easton, take the kids to see each other.
She's trying to build a firewall between the adult drama and the kids' friendship. She said they're applying to the same school, so she's staying cordial.
Yeah.
But that's it.
So you have Olivia wishing for more truth from her mom and Sheena trying to shield her daughter from it.
It's this question of managing past trauma versus trying to prevent future trauma. But you have to wonder how long Sheena can keep that up in a world where everything is filmed.
That's a very good point. Now, speaking of drama and professional boundaries, we have to talk about Bethenny Frankel weighing in on NeNe leaks.
This is the business crossover I was waiting for.
So the news drops that NeNe is reportedly coming back for a cameo on an Ultimate Girls Trip spinoff.
Which is huge, considering NeNe sued the network for racial discrimination. It's a massive deal.
And Bethenny immediately jumps on social media with some thoughts.
She claims that she pitched a show with NeNe years ago, like a road trip show in an RV.
A show that was rejected. And Bethenny says the executives told her that NeNe was, and I quote, kryptonite and toxic, and that they couldn't touch it.
And now, suddenly, NeNe's back. So Bethenny is calling it a hypocrisy check. She finds it interesting,
We all know what interesting means in Bethenny speak.
It's her pointing out that in Hollywood, toxic is temporary. If the ratings potential is high enough, Legal battles can just be part of the negotiation. It's business.
But the fan reaction has not been on her side. People are really coming for her.
Oh, yeah, the comments are brutal. People are calling her bitter, jealous, passive-aggressive.
They think she's just mad her own show idea got turned down and she's trying to steal NeNe's thunder.
And that's the problem. She might have a valid point about the industry, but because she centered her own rejected pitch, it just sounds like a personal grievance. She made it about her.
It always comes back to delivery, doesn't it? Just like with Sutton and Missy. The message gets lost if the messenger gets in the way.
Exactly. So we've seen trust deficits, power plays, calculated breakups, and family secrets.
The theme really does feel like this battle between truth and perception. Is Amanda telling the truth? Is Ashley? Is the summer house timeline we saw the real one?
Everyone is trying to control their own narrative.
And that really brings us to our final thought for you to chew on this week.
We talked about all these boundaries today. Sheena trying to protect her daughter, Jackson trying to protect his privacy. So the question is, in a genre built on spilling the tea, are boundaries a healthy form of protection? Or are they just an obstacle to the jobs these people sign up for? Can you be a private person on reality TV, or is that a fundamental breach of your contract with the audience?
That is the million-dollar question. Mull that over. Let us know what you think. We will be back next time with more insights. Until then, keep watching.
Stay curious.